Hey, what's up, Guardians? TBL here, and today, this wonderful Saturday afternoon, we're bringing you something a little bit different. We've got ourselves a Crucible gameplay here, and we're going to be talking a little bit about something that's been going on in the community as of late. The resurgence of the mighty Thorn. It's been a topic of contention for a couple weeks now in a standard normalized PvP, and even in some of the higher game modes like Trials of Osiris and Iron Banner. A lot of teams have been running into it. And there's been, of course, a lot of complaints going on about the gun. Thorn, of course, being that oh-so-mighty Year 1 exotic hand cannon that some of you newer players to Destiny, some of you players who jumped in during the Taken King might not know about. Thorn itself is an exotic hand cannon from Year 1 that is in the fast rate of fire, low impact archetype. It's got a steady fire rate, mid-level range, and a fairly fast reload speed time. That's actually one of the things it got buffed with, and it's not too bad now. But the big kicker about this gun is that it applies a poisonous dot effect upon every shot. You can see it right there. Got myself a precision hit, and you can see that Guardian burning off and ticking away at 3 points of damage per second. I think it lasts about 5 seconds. Maybe a little bit less than that. Oh, and check this out. I made a fatal mistake here. I forgot I was playing Inferno mode, which of course you don't start off with special ammo in. I could have had that whole team if I had just kept my primary out, dropped 3 shots into the first guy, meleeed, and dropped a couple shots into the second. But that's okay. I think we're going to get him back later on in this video. But anyways, the dot effect, again, lasts for about 3 to 5 seconds, and it deals increasing damage based on the number of shots you land. After your first shot, it'll deal 2 damage. After your second shot, it'll deal 3 damage. And generally, that means you can 3-shot body shot people in the Crucible with this thing. And the dot, which of course stands for damage over time, the poisonous mark of the Devourer from Thorn, is the reason so many people are still upset with this gun. And that's kind of what we're going to be talking a little bit about today. Now, of course, Thorn faced some pretty heavy nerfs right before the start of the Taken King, and it's nowhere near as OP as it was in Year 1. After its original buff and the nerfing of the class that really kept this gun in check, auto rifles back in February of 2015, no more Suros around to be the guard dog to keep this bad boy in line. This thing really just dominated the Crucible alongside its brother, the Last Word. And now, of course, in Year 2, far fewer players have the gun, and far fewer still use it in PvP since it's only really useful in normalized PvP. You're not going to get too far using it in Trials of Osiris and Iron Banner. Although there have been some teams who have had some success with it, but mostly those are just really high-skilled players who knew what they were doing. So generally you're not going to see too much of Thorn around in the Crucible. But still, there have been some complaints about it, and I want to address a few of them. Now, the first big complaint I've been hearing from the community is that Thorn's time to kill is too low, that it kills too quickly. And, well, that's actually not true. Thorn is in the same time to kill bracket as guns like the Appellant 3, the Devil You Don't, the Kuma Katok HC4. It actually doesn't kill any faster than any of those guns. So actually, Thorn's time to kill isn't really the problem here. As a matter of fact, there are guns that kill far faster, the best example of which, of course, being the Last Word, which kills almost 3 times as quickly as Thorn does. Another example in the same tier of hand cannons would be the First Curse, which also has a much faster time to kill than Thorn. Well, at the very least if you're landing your precision shots. But really, again, time to kill isn't so much a problem on Thorn. So what is? Why is this gun so darn good in PvP? What is it about this gun that just puts it a notch above all the rest? Well, my answer to that is twofold. The first is that Thorn causes a specific unique situation, an atmosphere in PvP that no other gun in the game causes. And ooh, not today, Mr. Stormcaller. Me and my homie, the Blade Dancer over there, had your number this time. But that specific situation is a forced disengage. And you'll see a bit of that with this kill right here. I got into a gunfight with this guy, hit him with the Mark of the Devourer, he started to burn, and he had to disengage in his gunfight with me to run off to go heal. Which of course Thorn doesn't allow you to do. Most of your engagements in this game are competitive. Even if you get caught a little bit off guard, there's a chance you can have a decent gunfight with somebody and even take them out. When you're engaging a user with Thorn, however, you know that it's 3 shots to your body and you're done. Even if you rush behind cover, you've got to contend with the Mark of the Devourer burning away at your health for at least a couple of seconds before you can heal up. Since, in addition to dealing with the gunfight against this Thorn user, you're also being afflicted by a burn that's continuously damaging you for a few seconds and preventing you from healing. This forces people to disengage from the fight and seek shelter so that they can at least wait out the burn before re-engaging you. Now this is a pretty unique atmosphere for a primary weapon. But I will say this is also an effect that's caused by the game's grenades, like say the Night Stalker's poison smoke grenades or a Sunsinger's firebolt with touch of flame. So really, it's not a situation that people are completely unprepared for. It's just one that's unique for a primary weapon. You know, it's odd for a primary weapon to be able to force that disengage. And it's really only one of the reasons why Thorn is so good. Now, the other meta reason for why this gun is so good? Because it allows you to be lazy. Now, you guys have seen plenty of examples of it over this video, but I can drop 3 shots into somebody's body and then just walk away. Or, as you'll see right here, get off that energy drain slap, put in 1 shot of Thorn to them, and wait out the burn. And this basic setup applies to most of the Guardians that you'll encounter in the Crucible. The only ones who can really survive it are ones with an overshield or ones who are really rocking max armor. So basically, you get into an encounter, you see a guy, you pop 3 body shots into him, and boom, you're done. You can, of course, go for precision headshots with this gun, which of course you should since it does allow you to kill enemies faster, but you don't have to. Because of its recent nerf, Thorn kills in the same amount of shots, whether they're precision shots or body shots. It's just the precision shots will kill individuals faster. And that, in my opinion, is the real strength of the gun in PvP. It allows you to be lazy since you don't have to prioritize precision. Again, you can, and it's probably preferable since you'll get a faster time to kill, but you don't have to. Oh, and check it out here. This is what it's like when you're using Thorn against an overshield user. I landed 4 shots on that guy before he started his Fist of Panic and barely even brought his shield down. The overall damage per bullet from this gun isn't great, it's just that the Mark of the Devourer allows you to play in a way that allows you to be lazy and forces your targets to be defensive. It really just is overall a very good gun. Now, do I think it's OP? No. At least not in the sense that it was in year 1 where the gun had more range, better magazine size, and even more accuracy. But it's absolutely a top tier weapon in Crucible right now for many of the reasons that I've listed previously in this video. And you know, if you go back and you watch some of the gameplay in this video, you'll notice that very few of my kills were actually those 3-shot body shot hits and just waiting people out with the Mark of the Devourer. Even like right there, a lot of my kills in this video have been 2 body shots, 1 headshot. Or of course body shots in a melee, which will also get the job done. Plus, Thorn's definitely got some shortcomings now. It can of course be outranged fairly easily. You'll notoriously have some trouble hitting Mida multi-tool users who know to stay out of your mid-range. And of course at close range it's completely outclassed by shotguns and stuff like the Last Word. But as it is an absolute top tier beast. And while it may not be the same overpowered mess that it was in year 1, it's still pretty close. And now, while I'm watching this clip, I'm kind of thinking, the Mark of the Devourer effect just kind of accounts for a 4th shot on this gun now, doesn't it? Essentially dealing the damage of 4 shots in 3. And I don't know, I think that's actually a pretty cool exotic ability. Whether or not it meshes well in PvP, nah, I don't know. Thorn has always been pretty much my favorite exotic. It was essentially the first one I got when Destiny first came out. And I can definitely admit that it was a little bit beyond overpowered in year 1. Whether or not it is in year 2, well, I guess we'll just have to wait for a year 2 version to find out. What? Don't give me that look. You know all of the year 1 exotics are going to eventually make their way into year 2. And I'm really excited to see what Bungie's going to wind up doing with the Thorn in particular. I really want to see how it's going to perform in PvE. Since year 1 Thorn was actually pretty good in PvE, it put in some work on some of those year 1 raids. But anyways, those are my thoughts on the matter, and I can already hear some of you furiously typing away on your keyboards to tell me yours. As we get that last burn kill. Oh man, this gun is still good. That guy, you know he was salty about that. But hey, Last Word and First Curse would have killed him faster. Alright, I'm done, I promise. That's gonna be it for this one, guys. Again, those are my thoughts on the Thorn. Is it OP? I don't really think it's quite OP, at least by the measuring stick of Thorn in year 1, but it's definitely really close to being. It's still a top tier gun. We did wind up going 25 and 11, and somebody got that, oh so sweet Ayasa Luna drop. This is Baby Hawkmoon. Congrats to them. But that's it for this one, guys. Again, be sure to let me know what you think in the comment section below. I can't wait to read some of you guys' responses. And please, don't hate me for this. As always, I am the Black Link. You Guardians, stay frosty.